welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. And while you're at it, smash that like button for me. I really would appreciate it. Also, hit that post notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. If you want up to 30 free stocks, Moomoo is going to give you up to 30 free stocks. When you open a new Moomoo brokerage account, you put $100 in that brokerage account, they're going to give you 5 free stocks. You put $2,000 delay, act today, get yourself down in that description box. Click on that Moomoo link, open up that Moomoo account, go get the free stock, go get the free money. This thing is going to be gone, guys, as of March 31st, 2025. No longer will that offer of 30 free stocks be available. So don't miss this opportunity, man, to get these 30 free stocks. I don't know what you're waiting on, but don't miss it. Don't miss it, guys. I can also send you a couple of Moomoo tutorial videos. All you got to do is send me an email through my website, www.richardfain.net. Second link down in the description box. Let me know you've opened the Moomoo account and you funded it, and I'll send you out those Moomoo tutorial videos so you can get going, man. Well, 47 has basically gave us an urgent warning, guys. He has come out today on car tariffs and said that he is going ahead with the 25% tariffs on all car imports to the United States. And you know what that did to automobile manufacturers' stock price after hours? It plummeted. Now, some of you might say, well, golly, why is he so hell-bent on these tariffs? Well, let me tell you why. This little thing they call tax cuts. He's trying to fund tax cuts. And he believes these tariffs will generate enough revenue to fund the tax cuts that he's getting ready to propose here very soon. Now, I know a lot of y'all are saying, well, golly, he's going to, tax cuts for, the working class folks. Well, here's the thing, guys. 90% of the taxes are paid by the top 10% of wage earners. So you're not really the one he's targeting these tax breaks to, because you only pay about 10% of the tax in the United States. 90% of the tax are paid by the top 10% of wage earners, right? So yeah, it's real sexy. Oh, if you're making under $150,000 a year, you won't pay any taxes. Well, you barely pay any taxes now, according to statistics. So really, who are the tax cuts for? They're for the wealthy. And he's going to use these tariffs as a way to generate revenue to pay for these tax cuts. But in the meantime, guess what's that going to do to your prices of your automobiles that y'all buying? They're going to go up by $2,000 to $12,000 per imported vehicle. So all of you folks that love these vehicles from, Toyota and all these other places, if they're not assembled and put together here in the United States, they're going to be subject to a 25% tariff. Man, that's huge. GM, Ford, all of those stocks are tanking after hours because of that news. Now, when are they supposed to be rolled out? They're supposed to be rolled out April 2nd. Now, I still believe there's an outside chance that he's bluffing. That's what I'm thinking, guys. I believe he's bluffing because there's no way he can believe 25% tariffs on cars imported, not just cars, but parts too. You're talking about over $400 billion worth of car parts and passenger vehicles that are imported to the United States. Over 400 billion. Guys, that's a big number. That's a big number. Right? So why is he really doing this? Again, he's doing it because of what? A negotiating tool. And he's also doing it because, obviously, these tax cuts are coming. You got to pay for these tax cuts some kind of way, guys. Now, of course, Doge is helping with that, right? Doge is helping to pay for these tax cuts by firing people and all kind of stuff like that, government workers, cutting back on, affordable housing programs and anything that they can cut back on. Doge is trying to find money to fund the tax cuts for the wealthy. And again, I ain't got a dog in the fight. I'm just telling you my opinion. My opinion is they're trying to do everything they can so that they can roll out these tax cuts, guys. I'm telling you, that's the big ticket item. That's why all of this stuff is being done, is to create and generate enough revenue to pay for these tax cuts for the wealthy. Now, again, will some of us middle class and perhaps lower income folks we don't pay that much of the taxes anyways, guys. We only pay like 10% of it. 90% of it is paid by the upper 10% of wage earners. So all I'm telling you is they will benefit more than you and I will benefit from the tax cuts. Now, again, that's my opinion. So as investors, what should we be doing? Well, we should be capitalizing on this chaos right now. Because listen, I still believe he's bluffing. I don't think he's coming out with no tariffs, honestly. Not to the extent he's saying. I think he's still bluffing. But let's say he don't bluff. Let's say he does roll out 25% tariffs on car imports. What if he does roll that out? Then that's going to affect about $400 billion worth of automobiles and automobile parts that are coming into the U.S. That's going to affect your largest auto manufacturers in America. It's going to affect them. Why? Because they get most of their parts from Mexico and Canada. So guess what? They're going to, and you already know the auto manufacturers are not going to absorb that cost. Guess who they're going to pass that cost on to? You and me. That's who they're going to pass it on to. You and me, guys. We're going to get hit with that bill, that $2,000 to $12,000 increase in car prices. You think the wealthy gonna feel that? Nope. Guess who's gonna feel that pain? Middle class America, lower income earners, people struggling. That's who's gonna feel the impact of that $2,000 to $12,000. Wealthy people ain't gonna care about that. Okay, if I gotta pay, for a Mercedes, I gotta pay an extra 10 grand for a Mercedes. Who cares? Right? It's the working class folk that gonna get hurt the worst. But as investors, what's the urgent warning for investors? The urgent warning for investors from 47 is be prepared to take advantage of this opportunity I'm finna create for you. Now, somebody won't take advantage of that opportunity, but there are others that will, and I plan on being one of them. I plan on putting myself in position so that if he does roll out these tariffs that he's been threatening for, almost 2 months. If he rolls them out, I'm talking about in their entirety, then we're going to probably have a catastrophic collapse in the stock market, in my opinion. And our economy will follow. Stock market will go first. The economy will be second if he rolls this out for these tax breaks, these tax cuts. And I'm going to be there ready to buy big boy blue chip paper assets at a discount if he does that. That's going to be the goal for me. I'm going to be right there and ready to be able to take advantage of this opportunity to build wealth, man. I don't know about you, but I'm going to be there and be ready to go. So what should we be anticipating leading up to next Tuesday, which is next Wednesday, which is April 2nd, right? I think April 2nd is what? Next Wednesday? Yeah, next Wednesday. So we got basically a week from today to prepare ourselves. And here's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be getting all my cash reserve ready to go, and ready to in the brokerage account to be able to strike. So if he does roll this thing out, which there's a good chance he will, guys, but there's also a good chance he won't. I still think he's bluffing. Now, I already have created positions in some of my gorilla stocks just in case he's bluffing and he rolls them back and the stock market rallies. I'm already in place in some of my gorilla stocks, right? But I'm going to have more cash reserve on the sideline waiting for the dip just in case he does stick to what he says he's going to do. But that's a urgent message from 47 for you guys. And listen, man, this thing, listen, I hope it gets better before it gets worse, guys. I'm hoping it gets better before it gets worse, but my goodness, man, when he came out at 4 p.m., he seemed pretty clear on his path. He seemed pretty clear on his path. So if tariffs, the full rollout of these tariffs is the path, then we better be prepared as investors to be able to be ready for this. We better be prepared, because last thing we want to do is be unprepared and we get blindsided. But you shouldn't be unprepared, because I'm telling you right now what he's planning, right? So you should be ready to go either way. Either way he decides to go with this thing, you should be ready to go. Either way he decides to go, you need to be ready to go. That's all I'm telling you. You need to be ready to go either way he decides to go. If he goes tariffs, be ready. If he rolls back tariffs, be ready. All I'm telling you guys is, listen, man, this is not a joke. You better be ready. I think these tax cuts are really, really important to somebody, because we're doing everything we can in our administration right now to make sure these tax cuts are secured. See, you notice there's not been a lot of conversation about the tax cuts, and that's on purpose. They want to distract you. They want to get you all distracted, afraid, and scared, and then all of a sudden going to roll in these tax cuts, and by that time it's too late, right? So as investors, we just have to be careful and be ready. And I told you what my plan is. My plan is to anticipate a rollback in my gorilla stocks. I'm already got 3 or 4 of them that I got at least 20,000 shares a piece of, all 3 of them. I got 20,000 shares a piece of these little gorilla stocks. So if he does roll back and the market rallies, there's a good chance that these little gorilla stocks, since they're pretty inexpensive, I can make a big windfall with 20,000 shares of each one of these little gorilla stocks. If he decides not to roll back and goes full speed ahead, then I'll take the rest of my money that I have in reserve and I'll buy the dip. But I'm not going to buy the dip on the gorilla stocks. I'm going to buy the dip on the long-term investments, FTEC, SPLG, Magnificent 7. That's where I will buy the dip. If we rally, the gorilla stocks will deliver a nice payday. If we don't rally, if he goes with the tariffs, then I'm gonna have the cash reserve to be able to invest in the big boy blue chips, because they're gonna crash. The stock market is coming down. We may even go into bear market territory, because we've already hit corrective territory, which is a 10% correction. We may go bear market territory, which is a 20% decline. We may. So be prepared either way. That is the warning that he's given you guys. That's the warning he's given us. Listen, investors, I may go forward with these tariffs. Again, on the record, I think he's bluffing, but I got to prepare for both. Because if he's not bluffing, I don't want to be caught not prepared. And then everything starts dipping and I haven't put myself together and my mindset ain't right. If he rolls back, then guess what? The gorilla stocks that I've made this investment in, these gorilla stocks should take off. And again, y'all know how my philosophy is with the gorilla stocks. I don't need but $1 or $2 a share increase on 20,000 shares. And listen, if I got a $2 increase on 60,000 shares, that's 120 grand. So that's where I'm positioned at in these little gorilla stocks before April 2nd, right? I'm positioned before April 2nd. Now, what if he comes out and goes full force April 2nd with these tariffs? What do I do with the gorilla stocks? I just hold them. At some point, these little gorilla stocks will rally. They'll bounce back. They're very inexpensive. So it's not going to take him much to bounce back. But if he does roll them back, then the gorilla stocks will pay me a nice little cha-ching. So that's the strategy. See, he's giving us this warning, right? So I don't want any of y'all saying when he comes out on April 2nd, when this whole thing hits the fan on April 2nd, I don't want any of you guys saying you didn't know. Because I'm telling you right now, he's giving us warning signs. He's warning us right now. If you're an investor, you will heed the warning. The warning is get yourself prepared. It can go either way. So prepare for both scenarios. Prepare for a rally or prepare for a what? A dip. Prepare. Get yourself in position right now, guys, because I think it's an opportunity for us to build wealth, but we can't be afraid. We can't sit on the sideline, right? We gotta think about a plan and execute that plan. Now, if you want some help with that, again, all you got to do is go down to that second link, which is my website link. And in that website link, click on it. It's going to take you to the website. And you can join the Wealth Builders, my financial community on Patreon. And in my financial community on Patreon, you certainly can talk with me directly through direct message. But here's the nice thing about the financial community. We got over 1,900 wealth builders in that community. And we're in our community chat every single day, helping one another, helping one another build wealth, answering questions, giving feedback, dropping tips and nuggets, best practices, all that stuff. We're in there, guys. If you want help, not from experts, because we're not experts. We're just regular folk. We're not experts. We're just regular people. But if you want help trying to navigate this financial landmines that we're in right now, come on over to Patreon and we'll be more than happy to try and help you guys. We'll be more than happy to try to help you. Again, we're not experts. We're just a family, a financial family that look out for each other. And like I said, if you want to have direct access to me to ask me questions just about my philosophy, because again, guys, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a regular guy here trying to help you guys navigate this, because I would want somebody to help me navigate it. And I'm just giving you my opinion. You don't have to believe what I'm telling you, right? But I'm telling you, this is serious. Something's going to happen. And I need to prepare for both scenarios. I got to prepare for him rolling back the tariffs, and I got to prepare for him going full steam ahead with the tariffs. I've already told you what's happening right now with the automobile manufacturers, the American-based automobile manufacturers. I already tell you what's happening right now. Their stock prices are going down. Go check aftermarket. They're going down. Why? Because of what he just came out and said at 4:00 p.m. Eastern time today, when he said, no, I'm going forward with these 25% tariffs. I'm telling you guys, that's like $440 billion worth of car and car parts and passenger vehicles that come into the U.S. You're talking about over $440 billion worth of goods that he's going to impose a 25% tariff on. And I think the main reason for doing that is to make way for a huge tax cut for the wealthy. Because again, you and we only pay about 10% of the taxes here in the US. 90% of the taxes are paid by the upper 10% of wealth and wage earners. Not you and I. So I know somebody, oh God, we're going to get $150,000. If I make $150,000, I'm not going to pay any taxes. You barely pay taxes right now, according to statistics. If you don't believe me, go out on the IRS website, or go out and do some research on Google and find out who pays the most taxes and get a breakdown of who pays the taxes. It'll give you a breakdown. It'll tell you who pays what. The upper 10% pay most of the taxes, guys. Right? So if you're making $150,000, and even if they do pass that, where if you make $150 W-2 or 1099, you don't have to pay no taxes, that's fine, because you pay very little of taxes anyways. See, that's the little carrot they throw at y'all. What you really pay, who pays the taxes. You go find out and research. He can do that 150 or less in income, no taxes, because They barely pay taxes anyways. They pay 10% of the taxes. 10%. That's it. 90% of the taxes are paid by the top 10% of wage earners and the wealthy. That's who the tax breaks are for. It's for the wealthy. It's for the billionaires. It's not for you and me. But nevertheless, we can still build some wealth if we understand what's happening right now and we put ourselves in position. And I told you my strategy. The gorilla stocks are already in place. 20,000 shares of 3 gorilla stocks already in place. So if we rally next week, next Wednesday, if we rally, I'm gonna make a lot of money. If we don't rally, then I'm gonna take the rest of my cash that I got in hold in waiting, and I'm gonna buy the dip. But I'm not gonna buy the dip on gorilla stocks. I'm gonna buy the dip on big boy blue chip paper assets, the big boys. I'm gonna buy the dip on the big boys, because those are the ones that I know I'll get the most benefit out of long term. See, I got 9 more years, guys, before I'm done. So I got 9 more years before I'm done. So I need a little extra push, and that's what I'm going to get, is a little bit of a push if he decides that he wants to go ahead and go full force with those tariffs, right? So here's the deal, guys. Keep doing what you're doing if you feel like you are achieving your goals. Don't pay any attention to me. Keep doing what you're doing if you believe you're achieving your goals. But if you're not achieving your financial goals, guys, please pay attention. Please pay attention. Listen, guys, we're a capitalistic society. This country is ruled and run by the 1%ers. You have a 1%er in the White House sitting in the Oval Office. Chief Executive Officer. He's a 1%er. Most of the things that are going to come out of the current administration, whom I support, because I'm a proud American and I support our government, but I don't have to agree with everything that they do. Most of the stuff that's going to come out of that administration is going to be for the 1%, because the person that's in charge is a 1%er. I'm just giving the facts to you, at least according to me. The person that's in charge is a 1%er. So the most of the benefits will go to the 1%, unless you take advantage of it. See, if we know the rules to the financial game, we can participate. Not only participate, we can win. So get yourself ready to go. Get yourself ready to go. You got 1 week before April 2nd. If you, like I said, if you're in the matrix, you're by yourself, you don't know where to start, go down to the description box, click on my website link. When you get to my website, go find the join button or the membership button in my website. It'll take you over to Patreon. Come join the fastest growing financial community on Patreon. We're called the Wealth Builders. We will certainly do our best to help prepare you over this next week. And all you got to do is send me a direct message when you get there to let me know you're rocking with us. And ma'am, I'll send you out some information. We'll make sure that we can do what we can to try to help you get together. Again, we're not professionals. We can't tell you what to do, but we can provide you with information and scenarios that are helpful and that can help you. If you want up to 30 free stocks from Moomoo, you know what to do. You got to get down the description box. First link, click on that Moomoo link. Open up that new Moomoo account, guys. Go get the free stock from Moomoo. It's 30 free stocks. You put $100 in that Moomoo account, they give you 5 free stocks. You put $2,000 in your new Moomoo account, they give you 30 free stocks. This offer will end on Monday, March 31st. It's over. Poof. It disappears. So if you're somebody that says, you know something, I'm looking for a new brokerage app, plus I get 30 free stocks. If I put $2,000 in my new brokerage account, then I can take my $2,000 and position myself for April 2nd. Boom. There's the strategy. There's the strategy. And if you join the Wealth Builders and you DM me on the Wealth Builders, I'll send you both of my strategies, my short-term strategy and my long-term strategy. So that way you got some information you can dissect. You can copy my plan or you can create your own plan. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but there's nothing wrong with you copying someone's plan. I've done it before. I continue to do it. So there's nothing wrong with that. But I got to take responsibility for my own actions. I can't put that on somebody else. and grab some food, some dinner, and then I'm gonna head home. But I had to get with y'all before it got too late to let y'all know what's going on